Let's bring an update on the story now. The fourth state witness in the trial of the theft of millions of US dollars from President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala Farm in Bela-bela is set to return to the stand. That's when that trial resumes in the Modimolle Regional Court today. The witness was provisionally withdrawn after he disputed contents of a statement taken by him or from him by police. The court then ruled that a trial within a trial be conducted to determine whether this witness made the statement voluntarily or not. SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi is inside court and joins us now live. And Pimani, I understand there's a short recess. Get us up to speed with what's taken place so far.
Good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to our viewers. Ayanda, currently that witness actually is on the witness stand, but he is not testifying in the main trial. He's actually testifying in the trial within a trial to sort of go through whether the statement that has been brought to this court, he made it or not. And Ayanda, he's actually not disputing some contents of the statement, but he's disputing the statement in its entirety, where he's just currently the trial within a trial actually started last week, where the state called the investigating officer, who's the one who deposed the statement, and the court actually allowed this witness to also cross-examine that police officer. Today we've seen another police officer was also present when the statement was given, and during cross-examination last week, the witness told the police officer that you actually came with a statement, you even bought me a pie and you said I must sign it. You actually asked me to confirm that I knew two of the accused, and of course I knew them, I stayed with them at Finger Grill, but I actually don't know anything about what happened. He stated that that weekend he saw them and went home. He saw them a few days later. So currently, where the court is determining is this statement, should it be admitted into evidence? The witness maintains he did not make it. It was brought to him to sign it off. Today, a second police officer came in, who's a captain, the SAPS, and she said that she was actually just there to support the IO as he took the statement. He says this second police officer actually, according to him, was the one who was interpreting because he doesn't know English. She was interpreting in Setswana, and she asked a lot of questions. She even threatened to arrest him, telling him that she's the one who arrested accused number 2, Miss Floriana Joseph, and should he not sign off on that statement, she would arrest him too. He also said that he was arrested, he was put in handcuffs. But the interesting thing is that this is actually the second state witness to give such testimony. We saw the main difference between these two witnesses is this: the fourth witness, he says he doesn't know the statement at all. But with the third state witness, he says portions of the statements he gave them to police under duress because he was afraid that he would be, he had seen what happened to some of the accused when they were arrested. He had seen social media posts about how they were assaulted. He says he himself was also intimidated when he was taken from his home and taken to a police station in handcuffs to go and give that statement, stating that, yes, indeed, I gave the statement, but it was not the truth. The truth is what I'm saying in this court. And majority of that was disputing that he never saw bags full of money with the accused, and that they never paid him in large sums of US dollars, but paid him in rands. That was an amount that can be understandable for the service that he had rendered. So right now, that trial within a trial to determine whether this witness, the fourth witness for the statement, should be admitted into evidence is still ongoing. Right now, the state has called two witnesses who have given testimony that he gave that statement voluntarily and freely. Right now, the witness is on the witness stand. He's testifying that, he did not give that statement voluntarily. And our viewers must remember that as the media, we're given a court order. We cannot name any of the witnesses. We cannot show any of their faces, but we can use their testimony, the voices of them testifying. So right now, we're actually on a short adjournment because the three accused, you can remember, these three accused are South African nationals with Namibian roots, and they speak Ochivambo. They stay in an area called Finger Grill outside Bela-bela, where this is an area that is occupied mostly by Namibian people people with Namibian roots. So they also stay there, and majority of them speak Chivambo. And right now, we've been told, the accused have been complaining to our legal representatives, saying that the court interpreter has not been given right interpretation of what the witness was saying when he cross-examined the police officer. And also now, as he took to the witness stand to give his evidence in this trial within a trial, the interpreter is not interpreting correctly, number one, the questions that the court is giving to this witness, but number two, his answers to the court. And they say that even as he was cross-examining the two witnesses, the same was happening. As he was asking his questions, the questions were not reaching the home as they were meant by the witness. So right now, court is on a short adjournment. We don't know if they'll be able to get another Chivambo interpreter or what will happen, but currently court is at a standstill to figure out how do they figure out, because the magistrate Peter Mantata emphasized he too does not understand Ochivambo. He cannot tell whether the translation is correct or not, but at this point he needs to make a decision in terms of, do we continue with this interpreter, does he get another one, or what happens in that regard. So this trial within a trial is still ongoing. We expected that today we might get to a conclusion where the magistrate makes a decision whether he declares this witness hostile or not, because he's a state witness who was supposed to come and prove the state's case, and the state now says it seems he wants to give testimony contrary to what they had agreed upon. Ayanda.
Gosh, talk about high drama. At least it's been an eventful day so far. And I understand, Pimani, you might have to get back to your position at short notice, but very quickly, help us place the significance of what's taking place there. In other words, how much of a blow to the state's case if that court does find, in fact, that that statement, in fact, cannot be linked to this fourth witness?
Ayanda, the most important thing about this testimony is that even during the bail application, when the investigating officer took to the witness stand to testify to oppose bail, he said that a bulk majority of their evidence was the fact that some of these accused were seen with large sums of money, but they also bought vehicles and a day, like they had lavish spendings a day after the theft. And this witness and the previous one was also recanted, who says portions of his statement were given under duress. They are the ones who were supposed to give testimony to that. They were the witnesses to that they spent large sums of money. They paid large sums of money, because we understand both these two witnesses are transport service providers who were paid large sums of money to move the accused from Bela-bela to other areas a day after the theft. So these two witnesses recanting, it now says no one can be seen with that money. But the most important thing, when we go back to the main trial, Ayanda, there's been testimony from the general manager of the farm, and even so far, no one has been able to link any of the accused to ever knowing that, number one, there was money stuffed in a sofa inside there. But number two, no one was also able to see them, because the general manager testified that accused number two, Ms. Floriana Joseph, who worked at the farm at the time as a temporary worker, she was not allowed to enter the main house. She could not go and clean that main house without being accompanied, and he could not say on the witness stand whether he knew that she had been to that main house in the period that the man was kept in the main house. So it looks like linking the accused to, number one, verifying that they knew that there was money on the farm, but also, number two, that they went in, they physically had access to the place where the money was kept in. It looks like it's coming shambles. But number two, Ayanda, with this testimony of these witnesses now recanting, it seems no one also saw them with large sums of money. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the magistrate rules in terms of this witness testimony, because we know with the previous one, he was declared hostile, and the state was given the opportunity to cross-examine him on the conflicting statements that he gave in this court and the one that in his written statement, Ayanda. But I think court wants to come back in, Ayanda. We'll continue monitoring these proceedings.
And we'll certainly be watching it with you. For now, Pimani Baloyi, live to us there from the Modimolle Regional Court.